Greetings, hello, what is up, and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is hiding and the magpie is casting. Coming to you guys right now with a live 1 versus 1 battle featuring a spawning in the south. It is going to be the austere forces of Smiley. And spawning in the north, it is going to be the United Kingdom forces of VonAsten, who I just happened to check just now on CoH2.org, and VonAsten is presently rated number 10 globally for United Kingdom forces. So it's safe to say he's a man who probably knows what he's doing. So, yep, the map here is going to be Market Town, Market Garden, Market, whatever the market. It's Market something. It's one of the new maps. It's definitely got the word Market in its name. I should really know its name by now, but for some reason, drawing a blank on that one. But, yep, going to be some market-based action here, as both players going to be moving on out onto the map. Looks like a quick pick here for Ostrupen Doctrine for Smiley. So we've got the plucky Struppen marching out onto the map as we speak, and that, of course, traditionally matches up very well against United Kingdom forces. Those 6-man Struppen squads, once in cover, a very, very, very efficient and economical matchup against Tommies, who are far more expensive, just 4 rifles per squad. So basically, Ostrupen, at least in those early stages of the game, before we get 5-man squads and some weapon rack upgrades for the allied player, those Struppen tend to trade very, very well against the British forces. Also got a marksman on the field, ever annoying for the British forces to deal with. High value per head on those Tommies. And it takes them a little while to get out a counter-sniper, and that counter-sniper, the SAS sniper, actually not even as good in a snipe-off as the German marksman. So, savvy picks here from Smiley. Good to see. I was kind of hoping that I would just have a couple of minutes to just talk about random stuff at the start of this game. I've got to say, but there's just been like relevant stuff popping up like this whole time, so that really hasn't happened. But just suffice to say, a little bit sparse on the casts this last week or so. It's just been one of those weeks, you know, like a really good week where I've just been catching up with old friends, drinking way too much gin, getting way too high on life. And you know, just kicking back and enjoying it, and also, you know, had some work to do as well, and that hasn't left much time for casting. And you know what the other big thing that's eaten into the casting time has been, and I got to be honest with you all here, Titanfall 2. I looked at it, I read some reviews, it looked like the kind of game that I would really like. So I got it. Basically anything with big stompy mechs in is pretty good. Sniper has to get out of here, and that's pretty relevant for this fight coming up here. Yeah, I looked at Titanfall 2 and I thought that is a game with big stompy mechs that I'm probably going to enjoy. These Pioneers are staying very long here. Okay, Smiley does get them out of there, just with almost perfect retreat fallback timing, actually. That's pretty good. But yeah, so I've been playing Titanfall 2 like a reasonable amount since it came out, and I've got to say, what a game. It is, it's just, it's been a long time since I have dug an FPS, but let me tell you, I am digging that one. I was thinking I might even stream some of it, because, you know, I don't like to brag or anything, but I seem to be very good at that game. I mean, like, I don't even know what my KD ratio is, but it's got to be, like, in excess of, like, 4, maybe 5 to 1. I don't like to brag, except for the times when I like to brag, like just now. Anyway, so that's kind of the Magpie update, I guess. It's what I've been up to. It's why there hasn't been many uploads this last week or so. This week coming, it looks like really quiet, not much in the old calendar, so should be able to get out a few more casts this week. And still working on getting some StarCraft 2 over to you guys. The main trouble with StarCraft 2, right, is finding the good replays that I haven't already watched, because I do keep up with StarCraft. You know, I do watch like all of the big tournaments and stuff. So finding good replays is actually really hard, because unlike in Company of Heroes 2, you can't just jump on into the live games lobby and just pick, you know, a top GM game to watch or anything. Like, that's not a thing in StarCraft 2. By God, I wish it was, though. So, yeah, once I get a solution for, like, a constant stream of replays, of you know, good caliber replays, then we can start casting that. And as far as Homeworld Deserts of Karat goes, well, I've got 2 artifact cups that Sinistra has kindly sent through to me, so I'll hopefully dig on into those at some point this week. That'll be good fun. Anyway, let's turn our attention back to this game. Looks like both teams kind of wrestling still. Map control has been pretty even, to be honest, but it looks like it's Smiley right now. He's just tipping VonAsten for control of the middle line of the map, which is quite important. He is actually a little way behind on VPs, but that probably he's going to catch up here momentarily. Mixing in a mortar team is a good option, and of course really, really helps against this Vickers, as we just saw. The British player at the moment kind of struggling right now to... where are these Tommies going? That is an odd path. But, yeah, the British player right now kind of struggling to get to grips with this austere army. The...
Losing a capture point.
pardon me, the Ostrupen here outclassing the Tommies in a heads-up fight. The Vickers gun makes sense to corral those Ostripen and give the Tommies a fair chance. But with the sniper and the mortar out there, that Vickers actually is having a pretty hard time operating. So anyway, platoon command post is now online, and we're going to have to see what the pick is going to be here from VonAsten. I'm guessing it's going to be an SAS sniper, just judging by the amount of manpower he's floating up here. And that would be kind of a good choice, but risky. Risky because there's already a mortar and the German marksman who's kind of the reason. Oh no, it's going to be an AEC. Oh, so I did not see the AEC research. Dirt. Well, okay, it's going to be an AEC, and I like this a lot more. This makes a lot more sense. It's good against all of these units up here in the top left, and especially scary for that sniper because remember the AEC does actually count as a scout car, which means that it does have the bonus damage against snipers, which is actually pretty scary. Oh, this sniper getting hounded right back into the Axis base here. It's kind of dangerous stuff for him. MG42, that's the base MG42. Going to start suppressing these Tommies, though, and that should send them packing here momentarily. Speaking of being sent packing, these Ostripen here. Not going to last very long. 2 squads of Tommies going to be more than enough there. And there's actually a window here. If I crack the tack, you can see most of the Axis units are like more or less in the base or heading back to it or on the doorstep of the base. Only a plucky mortar squad holding like any field position. So there's a window here for the British player to get some work done. It looks like VonAsten recognizing this, splitting off some Tommies to start grabbing some VPs. Also going to make a dash for the fuel point here, which I like a lot. AEC is going to move onto the field, and the Vickers is going to take pride of position here in mid. So actually it's now Smiley with a lot of work to do. VonAsten has occupied most of the relevant positions on the map, and it's going to be Smiley here who's going to have to try and make a move and get something done, or else he's going to fall yet further behind on those all-important VPs. And I think it's definitely true to say the higher level the game, the more important those VPs are. At lower levels, the game just tends to be decided at some point via a show of strength, where one player thinks that they cannot win anymore and leaves the game. But at the higher levels, it almost always comes down to the VPs. So those VPs, every single one counts, and Smiley right now is the man hemorrhaging them. So it looks like we're going to see a pack gun coming out to answer the AEC. We're also going to see a sniper coming on out for the British player. So the SAS sniper are going to take to the field. Mortar squad gets caught out by the AEC. Looks like the fallback is probably going to be good here. I don't think that those guys are going to die. Yep, so that's going to be good. Little machine gun bunker set up in a reasonable position here. AEC is going to try and answer that. A couple of Ostripen flanking round for a sneaky Faust here. Sneaking Faust. There it is. So that is now a stricken AEC, but it shouldn't be too bad. I mean, here comes the pack gun. Actually, if these Ostripen stalk this AEC, there is a chance. Where's the Vickers gun? Oh no, the Vickers gun was forced back already. So... Okay, so, but anyway, he's lost sight of the AEC, and I don't think he's going to be able to track it with this pack gun. I mean, it's very brave sending the pack... He's just A-moving this pack gun out there, isn't he? Fair enough. Or Q-moving, as it is in this game. Strippen here taking a lot of fire. I would like Smiley to call in like another squad of Strippen, or possibly some Panzergrenz, or... No, actually, I don't like Panzergrenz here. Or just regular Grenz, or like... something, because I feel like he needs more frontline infantry presence. Two squads of Strippen, those are the only hard squads if you like. Everything else in this army doesn't really like being engaged, doesn't really like taking fire. Or maybe the Pioneers are okay with it as well, actually. But yeah, it seems to me like he needs some more shield units here to protect his weapon teams and his fragile units. Does Smiley, but we'll see what the choice is going to be. Looks like another squad of Pioneers here, and that is kind of sneaky. Remember as well, because he's chosen the Ostripen commander, he is like committed to teching up. So you can see Battle Phase 2 in the bottom right here is researching, which is kind of a shame actually. That is holding up those Pioneers. That is wasted manpower at this stage. He could have sneaked out another squad of, say, I don't know, Ostripen and then taken the Pioneers later. Oh, Sniper here getting a little bit caught out. Gunner GTFO just in the nick of time. Very nicely there from Smiley Face. And it looks like actually it's going to be VonAsten taking control of mid right now. Pack gun is set up and the AC does sneak forwards. That is a little risky. May take a hit here. Nope. No line of sight. So... The lingering fog of war, they're going to protect the AEC for now. This mortar squad, actually, I feel like it should have gotten more hits than it has. Not very much veterancy on that at all. But as I was saying, that is basically, when you queue up units like that, it is really, that is inefficient. That is kind of an RTS basic premise. Don't queue up units. It's always best to, maintain liquidity in terms of your resources, but keep all of your production producing at a steady clip. Because, if you queue up, say, I don't know, 5 Marines on a barracks, that's like 200 minerals that's sitting there doing nothing, which could have been better spent doing something else. And it's the same principle in this. That manpower that was queued up being those Pioneers in the build queue could have been another squad, and then when the build queue was empty and ready to receive the Pioneer squad, you could have put them on there then at a later date, and you would probably have had enough manpower. Anyway, So finally, it looks like this mortar finding a few hits. SAS sniper on the prowl in mid. This German marksman actually caught up. Oh, this could very likely be the counter snipe here. The British marksman is just trying for it. Oh, you could see him. You could see him jiggling around there, looking for the shot, and the German marksman is going to escape here just in the nick of time here. Oof, that was a close one. Further, British forces are harassing the VP over here. Looks like there are S mines over here, so maybe these engineers are going to start defusing those in a moment. And that is just really annoying. Smiley here is getting like forced further and further back. He's just going to retake his fuel point just now, which he's going to need. Let's just quickly check the tech for the British player. Okay, no company command posted yet. And it looks like VonAsten's gone ahead and picked the Tactical Support Regiment. Wow. Goodness me, this is a blast from the past. I haven't seen tactical support for some time. Remember, of course, the artillery cover used to be utterly broken because it used to just cause instant vehicle criticals on, like, everything. So, like, you know, I think we all remember those artillery cover uses, which would kill like a tiger and a panther, or, you know, it was just crazy how good that ability was. But it has been fixed, so since then the tactical support commander hasn't been used so much. Looks like we're going to have a designate command vehicle. Was that on the AEC? I think that was actually on the AEC. Wow. Okay. Oh, no, sorry, no, it wasn't. Okay, there we go. It was on the Bren carrier. That makes a lot more sense. Bren carrier, almost always the command vehicle, so that's an interesting little strat there. And now you can hear that is the infinite recon provided to you by having a British command vehicle on the field. That is the infinite eyes in the sky, which is going to be really useful. Now, Smiley has managed to retake this position in mid. You can see he's got a pack gun nicely set up. Two pack guns, actually. It's very spicy. MG bunker, actually, that could use some repairs. Pardon me. And the mortar squad. So, you know, he's gotten back into position. He's going to grab back some map control here, fanning on out with some more infantry. I'm amazed that he is just trying to do all this with 2 squads of Ostrupon as his only, like, actual fighty units. I mean, I know Pioneers are fighty units, but they have the DPS of a stiff breeze, unless you give them flamethrowers, which I suppose one of them has a flamer, so, okay. Maybe he's doing okay for fighty units. Oh, S-Mines here, taking their toll on some Tommies. That's unfortunate there for VonAsten. And sounds like the SAS sniper is just going to start chipping down at this mortar squad now. Where is the German? He's died. Oh, I'm so good at missing Germans. Oh my god. He probably died ages ago. Well, there we go. It's another sniper death missed here by your caster Magpie 842. I do what I can. It's like a special skill. There's certain things I'm really, really good at. Like card games, any FPS, like some RTSs, being a cocky bastard, and missing sniper deaths when I'm casting. God damn. God damn. Oh well. I'm like vaguely looking for his corpse, you know, but I'm not sure I even want to find it. Anyway. Looks like the AEC is going to reposition back into mid here. The command Bren here. I don't know. I keep wanting to call this a Bradley, which hasn't been invented for like 50 or 60 years by the time this is being played. But it is not a Bradley. That's quite important. SAS sniper here going to grab a star of veterancy, getting some snipes. That mortar's still being annoying. You can hear the rounds hooning in. It looks like an Ostwind is actually going to be the choice here for Smiley. Interesting. I guess because he's got 2 pack guns, this actually makes a lot of sense. And the Ostwind is actually, you know, that is really good against all of this stuff up here in the top right. It is susceptible to being sort of bullied at long range by the AEC, but apart from that, the British player is, you know, that Ostwind is going to be quite scary, I feel. VonAsten, though, can just continuing to put on fantastic pressure with brilliant map pressure. Oh, and he's going to use the British base fire here, the coordinated fire up on the on this bunker here, and that's going to force the mortar squad to reposition for fear of being hit by some, what are they called? 25-pounders, I think. Yeah. Wow, what a standoff we have here. Like VonAsten absolutely is content just to hold this position on this map, and it is absolutely on Smiley right now to get something done. Both the pack guns going to set up here. Ba-bam! There's the double hit on the AEC. Smoke needs to be popped, and it is. Ostrupon here they are looking to try and get a Faust, but the AEC is going to get out of here just in the nick of time. Still good damage though being done off of the pack guns. That is nice to see. Oh, a little run by squad of Tommies over here, even going to grab the fuel point. Oh, the levels of frustration are mounting. You know what else actually? This Ostwind can also fire at that annoying infinite recon, so that's a thing. AEC here, turbo weak. Ostrupon gonna find it. The Ostwind here is going to close on in, looking for a kill. This is so risky. There could be mines or anything out here, but the Ostwind wants blood, and it is probably going to get it. Boom! There goes the AEC, and we have our first big fuel trade of the game, or our first big fuel swing, if you like. Sorry, not trade yet. This Ostwind needs to GT the FO. If he sees that sniper, actually, he could get turbo cocky, but I don't think he's gonna. And now the Ostripin's going to get out of there, so nicely done. Cromwell going to be the choice here. Company command post finished, of course, for VonAsten. So Cromwell going to be the counter pick here for VonAsten. He's going to try and use that, obviously, to break the Ostwind. And I like the choice here. I mean, the Cromwell, it is good against the Ostwind, but it is also terrifying against infantry. The Cromwell, just, for my money, the premium medium tank in the game. You can say what you like about Shermans with their alternating ammo and Panzer IVs with their kind of being good, especially when they get to Vet 2. But for me, a Cromwell with the tank commander has the perfect blend of firepower against infantry and vehicles and maneuverability. And it's just a pleasure to micro, and that tank commander is just sweet. It just means that you're hitting all your hits, and it vets up so fast. You know, a Cromwell tank, let's face it, it is a delight. It is the first feeling as a British player that you've made it into the phase of the game where you are dominant, and, you know, the Cromwell is only slightly better than its counterparts, but from here on in, it just gets sweeter for the British player. From here on in, the toys just get more fun. You know, the Cromwell is a sign of good things for any British player. Oh, clustered up! Oh, the cluster stripping here. I was worried that they might get cluster stripped. Oh, they might get cluster crushed, though. Nope. Okay, they're actually going to exfil pretty safely there. I thought something could have gone terribly wrong there, but it's not gonna. Pardon me. You might be able to tell from my voice. I am slightly under the weather at the moment. Just a small, low-level, coldy kind of thing. Just a little bit of sore throat and that kind of thing. But my voice, at the moment, hanging in. Oh my god, the turbo-annoying Tommies who have grabbed the fuel point have also made themselves a trench down here. VonAsten, you are one annoying customer. And now, the positioning on this Cromwell, by the way, is G. This is a great place to lurk your Cromwell. It's like sufficiently dangerously on the flank, but also well supported by infantry. I just love that Cromwell positioning as a kind of a lurking Cromwell, if you like. Ostwind here is going to continue to apply pressure. Pioneers, Ostripin, and now some Grenadiers being mixed in as well. Also looking to get some work done, but I mean, Smiley is having a real problem with fuel. Actually, having said that, you know, he's having a real problem with controlling his fuel point. He's actually only 1 point of fuel behind per minute than VonAsten, so maybe he's not falling behind as such. But he's having real trouble. If he could just control this fuel point, I'm sure he'd be a very happy Ostripin player. And let's just quickly, I know we've got some fights going on, let's quickly check the tech. Okay, no sign of battle phase 3 just yet from Smiley, and that is of course very relevant. Remember, he's picked the Ostripin commander, so he has, you know, committed himself to using the regular Ostripin tech tree. So if he wants to get anything bigger and harder hitting than a Panzer IV on the field, he will need to research that battle phase 4, and that squad of Tommies gets relentlessly hosed. The Ostwind, the LMG-42, and the S-Minefield there. The trifecta of doom from the lads from, I don't know, Bristol, let's say. So they're going to get cut down. Bink! There's a rifle grenade. There's a nice cluster of targets here. Boom! Only gets 2 models, actually. That is not as good as you would hope. And now the Vickers is going to start mowing these guys down, combined with the SAS Sniper. Yeah, those Gren's going to have to GTFO. The Ostripin... Sorry, the the Ostwind really wants to get on over. Ostripin, Ost here, Ostwind. There's a lot of Osty words that I'm saying here. Ah, more Tommies retreating through the mines. Ah, got another squad wipe. Oh, VonAsten here taking some serious blows to the body here. Smiley here has been up against the ropes, but I mean, he's been defending well. He's not even that far behind. He still has plenty of stamina. Something has happened to the Cromwell. I missed that completely. A thing has happened. It has now got no health and a totally busted up engine. What is this madness? My god, I take a break from casting for like 6 or 7 days, and suddenly I lose all my skills at actually tracking what on earth is going on. Lol. Seriously, if this was a game of Titanfall, I'm in the zone for that game right now. So I'm like, I must be pretty good at that game, but apparently my RTS casting skills. Mr. Sniper Death, I have no idea what happened to that tank over there. Lol, pro casting. Anyway, well, after that phase of play, the Austria player, Smiley, is in a pretty good position, actually. You know, I don't mind what I'm seeing here whatsoever. He's going to finally take back his fuel point. Boom. And now he is in business. 29 fuel over +4 at the moment because of the fact that he is controlling the cutoff here. So that is grimy. Second Ostwind? I kind of like what I'm seeing, actually, from Smiley. That is a bit fearless in the face of, a 6-pounder and a Cromwell, but... one thing that you can often do, or sometimes do, with either of the Axis factions, is if you get to a critical mass of Ostwind, and you manage to break your opponent's infantry, they can basically never come back. And by critical mass, I mean 2, 3, sometimes even 4 Ostwinds. Because you just roll them around the map, just ruffling all of their stuff to death. And for anti-tank, you just have your Pat guns or your Rakettenwerfers. And I usually only do this if I'm very far ahead and I just want to, you know, curb stomp my opponent and kill them, you just chain build Ostwinds or chain call in Ostwinds if you're using the scavenge doctrine, and just roll them out of the game, because like they're just so good anti-infantry. You know, it like doesn't even matter if they're hitting you with 6-pounders and whatnot, because your Ostwinds will kill the 6-pounders. So. Anyway, looks like that Cromwell is nearly repaired. The engine will be back up in action any time now. So good thing these pack guns are here to cover the Ostwinds. And actually this position here, the sniper, the Vickers, the Tommy's well positioned, is actually proving very resilient. The mortar back here is doing its best, as are these grenadiers in mid, but they're going to have to give way here just in a second. Coordinated fire coming down from the British base as well. Oh no, I think Smiley forgot about his grenadiers here for a split second. They are taking a lot of fire. There is a sniper in the hood, but he's out of range. So okay, the Grens are going to get out of there safely. Close stuff there. A lot of explosions and stuff going on. So forgive me if I missed something in all of this swirling melee that's going on. It's a nice shifting battle line here. VonAsten coordinating his units very nicely and just creeping forwards to attain map control. But I think he's going to be pushed back here momentarily. Sniper getting very, very cocky. There are 2 Ostwinds that he's pushing into here. And I know that the SAS sniper can do some work against them, but still, that is very hazardous. Okay, he is going to fall back. And the 2 6-pounders actually is quite scary of a proposition. Is that a pack gun there? Yeah, so VonAsten actually even gets in and nicks a pack gun there, so that's pretty good. I don't know if he just nicks it just then or if he had it earlier, because I'm clearly awesome at casting. But yeah. So yeah, VonAsten now with enough AT tools, I think. You can tell from the fact that these 2 Ostwinds are, you know, both have no stars of veterancy and are both quite shot up. That speaks as to how efficient they've been. So I think Smiley here with a good idea going for the Ostwinds, but I think VonAsten was able to repair the Cromwell and pull together enough AT that it's not going to work immediately. You know, he's not just going to be able to win the game through he's just not going to be able to win the game through Ostwinds right now. There's a mortar pit also established here, just casting in the first shells just then. So things are going to start. That mortar pit is actually in a very nice, pardon me, in a very nice position here. I really like that positioning. So
the enemy are attacking an emplacement.
That's just going to be firing until it gets destroyed, and it's going to be quite hard to destroy there. I like this positioning here. I feel better and better about VonAsten's position in this game, to be honest. And we're into the phase of the game now. How much fuel is he on? 90. Okay. But I mean, he can start getting out some pretty cool British toys in this game, and I don't think he's going to be pushed out of the game before he gets the chance to. So he can have his pick of like a Firefly, which would be quite dominating on this map, or you know, he could research Comet, which would be absolutely heinous on this map. I mean, I know he needs all of the fuel, but I think he's going to have the time and he's going to get the fuel to be able to make a choice here as we move forwards. And, I mean, yeah, he's pushing. He's going to grab all of the VPs here momentarily. Okay, these engineers actually going to decide not to capture this middle one, but, I mean, yeah, he's doing a pretty good job here looking after the resources. Another scout plane getting shot down. Not quite sure where that one went down. And, credit where credit's due, actually. Doing a good job of repairing the Ostwinds is Smiley, and they're going to be back in the action. But I mean, these 2 AT guns back here just putting big holes in this freshly repaired one. Here comes some Grenadiers here. They're going to move in to try and sweep out this position here, and I do like that. Nice move there. Keep an eye on the minimap to see how that goes. Looks like VonAsten going to get active here. A couple of squads of Tommies here flanking a sniper who's taking up center of position here. Very nice. Here comes the coordinated fire bomb. There we go. The smoke coming down right on top of that mortar squad. Ostwind. God damn. Going to come in here. Aim shot comes down off the sniper, but it doesn't actually... Okay, yeah, so it jams the turret rotate, but that's not exactly stellar here. Cromwell's going to come forward, and that should be enough to bully back the Ostwind here. Meanwhile, up in the north, looks like those Grenadiers killed one pack gun and have forced back the 6-pounder, so they have done fantastically for themselves, as we thought they might when we looked at them earlier. The the Ostwind taking massive hits off the coordinated barrage there, and it's just going to sit here. This is risky now. Another hit would destroy it, and it's definitely still in the radius. They've got quite a large scatter of those shells. So, yeah, there it goes. It gets killed. Okay, that was just careless and unlucky. But he's going to get punished for that, is a Smiley. And that is very unlucky, but it is also careless. You cannot just leave your Ostwind in a barrage that he did know about. So, you know, no excuse for that there. Anyway, a barrage is going to be used here. That is the railway artillery, isn't it? Yeah, railway artillery going to come down. Whoop, bang! Going to start smashing on down into this mortar position. But you know what, actually? It is actually... garrisoned, you know, secured. What do you call that? Bunker, braced is what it is. Panzer IV going to be the choice here moving forwards. Ooh, risky. I don't know. I think I prefer going to tier 3, but anyway, he's going to go for the Panzer IV. Thinks he needs it right now. I just worry because I think a Panzer IV gets beaten by the Cromwell alone. Really, I mean, in any kind of fair fight, like a Panzer IV just sucks against the Cromwell in my experience. Or maybe I'm just used to that fight from the British perspective too much, but seriously, you can be so cocky with a Cromwell against a Panzer IV, you can just absolutely take down the German tank, it seems. Every time I seem to have that kind of fight, and I'm the British player, I always feel pretty good if I've got a tank commander. Anyway, Pack Gun here going to chalk a hit onto the Cromwell, going to force that one back. Oncoming wave here from VonAsten. Sniper, who's been doing pretty good, 16 kills on that bad boy. He's actually taking a lot of fire here, though. Those Ostripens chalking in some rounds, but those Ostripens going to have to fall back soon. There we go. I got to say, actually, Smiley has done a fantastic job of keeping his infantry alive, except for that sniper. He's actually done really well at keeping the infantry alive, which as Ost here is actually, you know, pretty tough. So that's cool. That is cool. I think VonAsten also did a good job, but he just lost a few squads in this minefield earlier on. That was pretty unlucky. Anyway, this Ostbin desperately in need of some engineers, actually. Where's that Panzer IV as well? Okay, Panzer IV is on the field. Are there no munitions? No, he has the munitions for an MG, in which case I really think he should get an MG, because he's not going to beat a Cromwell without Vet 2, and the best way of getting to Vet 2 is by buying that MG on the Panzer IV every time. What was that just got blasted? Oh, was that the mortar crew? Okay, finally the mortar squad gets wasted here. So that unit going to be ticked off the roster here for Smiley, losing just one more of his resources. And this battle looking pretty good. So the Ostripen going to reman that one. A fantastic benefit of Ostripen, actually. They are excellent remanners. Okay, so in comes the... in comes these pioneers, just provide line of sight. They need to fall back! They need to fall back! Oh my god, they get rinsed there. But they do provide the line of sight, so I guess some more railway shizzle. Boom, gonna be landing on this mortar pit. I mean, that is one way of dealing with a mortar pit, and I guess this is why he didn't buy the pincer-mounted MG42 on the Panzer IV. He wanted another shot there to try and get that. Whoa, the Panzer IV here coming in at a weird angle, and I say this is a weird angle because now the Cromwell is already behind that. So the Cromwell it would be easy for it to run through here and come up behind this Panzer IV. He needs to turn that. I don't like this arse-first technique here with the armor. It's not good. There goes the mortar pit. Railway artillery is going to see to that. Now the Ostwind is here. Ostwind is on turbo low, though. This is so risky, and you know your opponent still has a 6-pounder out there, and maybe even a pack gun if you're Smiley. So I'm not sure I like the Ostwind being this far out. Boom, yeah, there comes a shot from one of those. Yeah, that was from the 6-pounder there. Oh, now the Cromwell, yeah, you see, that just makes it an easy kill. Having an Ostwind out there on that much health is just risky, but I suppose the Cromwell does get punished a bit for it. Sniper going to get the kill on one of these pack guns. But I feel like Smiley just getting the worst end of all these trades. VonAsten here doing very nicely. And it's a staple of almost any tactical strategic game. If you are ahead, then trading is going to be a profitable strategy for you. You know, if you have 15, whatever it is that matters in the game that you're playing, and your opponent has 10, and you trade 1 for 1, then your opponent will end up with 0, you will end up with 5, and that represents infinitely more force than they have, so you will win. So that's how things, you know, even in chess, if you're ahead, then you can just trade, and that usually ends up well for you. And right now I feel like VonAsten here has taken some trades, and you know, they're working out well for him. Anyway, Smiley ain't dead yet though, and he's rebuilding an Ostwind. Oh man, I don't know about this. You see, this is a problem. See, Ostwinds are like fragile enough that you can lose them without making very many mistakes. You can lose them very quickly, especially at this late stage in the game. As Smiley's wave here getting picked apart, he stands to lose this Ostripen squad potentially. Falling back here, taking a lot of fire. Tommies everywhere. Some grenadiers here going to provide some cover fire for the retreat here, and yeah, okay, he's going to get those Tommies out of there. But yeah, this as I was just about to say, I feel like Ost tier players can get stuck in this trap where they get to Battle Phase 2, which does have some great tools. I mean, the Stug, the Ostwind, and the Panzer IV are all great units. But if you are stuck just building them, with them getting taken out. Oh, this Tommy needs to fall back. Oh, VonAsten going to lose a Tommy squad there. That's a little unlucky. Just a little careless there, actually. And then he's going to call in the coordinated fire here, so watch out for that. There we go. Infantry immediately forced to get out of there. Whoa, this is a cluster here. This is a problem here. These units need to get out of there. All it would take is some line of sight, which the sniper is going to provide, and they're going to start taking shells. There we go. But as I was just saying, again, yeah, Ostier players can just get stuck where they just are chain building Panzer IVs, Ostwinds, and or Stugs, and those units are just kind of living, maybe getting 1 star of veterancy, maybe even 2, but ultimately dying, and you just end up committing all your fuel into these units, and they're just not enough to actually beat more sophisticated, more advanced stuff, which I actually think the Cromwell is better than all of those 3 units, 1 for 1. And the British player also has access, you know, potentially to Comets, Fireflies, you know, some nasty stuff. And I think if you're Smiley, you know, we're coming up to the half an hour mark in this game, you really want, like, Storm Panzer IVs, Panzerwerfers, and Panthers. You don't really want Ostwinds and Panzer IVs. I know it's not that easy, and I know the Ostier tech tree is the most taxing, hard to see through, hard to commit to, hard to actually... It's just so bloody taxing. It takes ages and it costs loads, and the units it gives you aren't even that much better than the ones in the mid-tier. But the top-tier units are better, and they are worth it. A Panther tank would be really dominant on a field like this. A Storm Panzer IV would give him a lot of pushing power against these weapon teams, as well as being able to bully and stun this Cromwell. So, I'm just saying, you know, I like going for tier 3 here if I am Smiley. I really do. Oh, the 2 AT guns get set up here, and the Cromwell's going to get some sweet shots into this Ostwind as well. Why is this Ostwind coming in so deep? He's convinced that he wants to put down railway artillery in the base, but he's not ready yet. So that's not going to happen. The 2 AT guns here getting caught out, actually, and Smiley beginning to put together quite a nice move. He has to be very careful. His 2 money units are both pretty bruised up right now, and they could die very quickly to a couple of shots from these AT guns and a follow-up from the Cromwell. Oh, God, and there is a Comet coming out, and now this is what I mean. Like, in the face of a Comet, what can a mere Panzer IV and an Ostwind actually do in the face of such reckless UKF? This is just going to be really, really hard. Flammenwerfer here going to force a fallback on an MG squad is quite nice, which will enable these engineers to grab this VP, and I'd love to see an S minefield go up after they do grab that VP. Looks like the the Comet tank just going to come across here and going to start trying to hoon on those guys, just going to police the eastern side of the map here for VonAsten, and I think that's a really smart choice. Just immediately commits the heavy-medium tank over there, and it's going to just start hooning on everything. Wait, what was that? Was that a pack gun? Okay, pack gun's in mid, actually. Going to force the Comet back on really high amounts of damage dealt there. That's actually going to see it be out of action for some time. Mortar squad here gets taken out, but that's okay. So that's actually really nice here for Smiley. And actually, how is he doing this? Look at the map. He's actually like thrown the backfield of VonAsten into some disarray, grabbing the middle VP. And these Ostrobin going to get up on top of the sniper. That forces him back. Somehow, actually, Smiley's making this shizzle happen. Please say he's researching Tech 3. He's not. Please research the Tech 3, Smiley. Please. Well, I really hope he does, basically, in case you couldn't tell from all that. Nope, he's going to go for another Ostwind. Jesus. He's a braver man than I am. I just don't think an Ostwind is worth very much when your opponent has a Cromwell, a Comet, and 2 AT guns, like, and an AT sniper. I just don't think an Ostwind really does much. Maybe he feels like he needs to do things before he dies, but I think with 138 and the battlefield looking as it does now, I think he has enough time to get out a tier 3 unit, especially if he wouldn't have built this Panzer IV or would have built slightly different units up till now. You know, he could have had a Panther or a Storm Panzer by now, and I know that's all very easy for me to say, but I don't know, I really feel like that would have made a big difference. Anyway, 2 mortar teams here now set up for the Axis player. That is actually very cunning. I think those 2 mortars are going to do really well, because look, the British player right now, the backbone of his infantry lineup is all weapon teams, so those mortars are actually going to be really good. The Comet just fearlessly engaging here, using emergency war speed. It's going to get Fausted for Shao. No? Oh my god, I saw the Faust animation coming out. That's somehow cancelled. Alright, well, he gets the Panzer IV for free then, because the Comet will just beat that. Actually, not for free. Okay, so he loses some AT guns here. My god, it's just a ram. What is this Ostwind doing here? This is the one place on the map it doesn't want to be. Anywhere else except for where your opponent's Comet is where you want this Ostwind. Oh god, that'll be the Ostwind down. And this is what I mean, like, how much value did this Ostwind provide? Nearly none. And that's why you can't be building Ostwinds at like the 33 minutes against a UKF player who has this much AT. Like, it's just, really? When was that ever going to look good? I don't know. I don't know. Really? Anyway. Yeah, still no sign of that Tech 3, eh? Oh, dearie me. Anyway, this Comet looking okay here. Does get Fausted, but, you know, he's going to limp on out of there. You saw the grenade being popped out, so he is Vet 1. God, just nipping into the backfield to grab his opponent's fuel here. Smiley just making everything happen. These two players really are going ham on each other right now. They really are just throwing everything at each other. This is real RTS here. You know, these two players mentally wrestling with one another. Whoa, some kind of gravitic anomaly there, going to cause all of the debris to just go mad for a second. But yeah, these two players both desperately trying to destroy each other. What I often think, right, that playing an RTS, playing a good RTS against anybody, it's like watching two octopuses try and wrestle or kill each other. You know, like, you're just attacking your opponent in every way imaginable. You're trying to go wide. You're trying to identify weak points. You're trying to out-tech them. You're trying to be faster than them. You're just trying to out-APM them. You're trying to out-multitask them all over the map. And it is like two mental octopuses, you know, like the more tentacles of attack you have, like, you know, swinging at your opponent, the harder it is for them to defend. And likewise, you know, the more ways they're attacking you, the more pressure they're putting on you. It's just who can do the most the fastest. And of course, it's a brutal affair, isn't it? You know, there's no quarter given out here on the RTS ladder. You know, everybody's out here playing to win. Everybody just brings their game, does their thing, and tries to break you and destroy you. And these two players, you know, this is a bitter game now. 35 minutes. Okay, Smiley's behind, but this is definitely not over. He's committing to some good aggression. He's disrupting his opponent's backfield. The Stug, actually, I think, is an actual smart choice because it's cheap and it is quite good against the Comet and the Cromwell, as long as you can keep them in the front 90 degrees of that Stug. So I do like that choice. I do like that choice. Enough with the wrestling octopus metaphor. We're going to end that one right here. Oh no, some grenadiers here get gibbed on a mine, so that's pretty unfortunate for Smiles. He is going to lose them, and I just think Smiles here is just running out of steam. You can see from the British Army, you know, he's the guy with the Comet, he's the guy with the Cromwell, he's doing what he needs to, although I suppose a triple cap here going to be established for a little bit of time. Going to be established here. Why is there a... Oh, right, okay, sorry, that was really confusing me for a second. Okay, sorry. These Strippen are a bit clustered. You have to be so careful with clustering your infantry when there's a Comet on the field. You have to fool these guys back now, yeah. Just because the Comet's main cannon can and will just smite clustered squads. It does happen from time to time, and especially when you're playing Ostia with their smaller squads, it is like a little bit eye-watering. You're just like, really? Did that just happen? So, yeah. Not to mention, of course, it also has the phosphorus round, which is pretty smoky. So anyway, big fight here as VonAsten going to move on out with a fully reinforced and ready to go British Army here. A lot of stuff going on. Where's the MG42 for the Axis player? Okay, just now getting set up in a great position. Look how many units this thing has under the arc. But a coordinated fire barrage coming down from VonAsten as the Comet flanks here. A lot of action going on. The mortar squad's hooning in. The Stug out of position. Looks like the Stug is going to back up and try and reposition. Needs to try and counter the Comet with that Stug. It's really his only answer for the Comet. Is that Stug, and it looks like the Axis army is obliged to retreat here. Mortar squads, Pioneers, the MG42 all have to give way to the superior firepower and the indirect fire here of the British forces, and that is going to enable VonAsten to break out from under this triple cap. 117 to 192 the score right now, so Smiles is behind, but not by as much as I thought, and he's going to grab another Stug, which I like. I actually do like building Stugs in this scenario. I think Stugs are, if only he had a spotting scope commander, you know. But I do like Stugs in this circumstance. They're cheap enough. They're actually pokey enough. There you go. See, as long as your opponent is in the front 90 degrees of your Stugs, it's almost never cost efficient for them to engage into them with armored units. You know, all things being equal, you know, sometimes it is. You know, there are times, but generally speaking, those Stugs, you know, they've got the high rate of fire and the high AP. They are pretty nasty. Here we go. He's going to find this. He needs to rotate just a little. Takes a shot. Oh, and it is a miss. Unlucky for that Stug. The other thing about Stugs, of course, is because they're reasonably cheap and they do heavy amounts of damage to vehicles, they actually vet up quite quickly. And once a Stug gets to vet 2, is that when it gets the rate of fire bonus? Yeah. Then they're actually really spiky. I mean, the rate of fire on them gets quite intense. You know, they are almost like little mini tank destroyers of doom then. You know? So absolutely, I would say the Stugs here are a nice choice. If he can get up to like a 3rd Stug or something, you know, I actually like this a lot. And bear in mind, they're only 80 fuel, so, you know, it's not the end of the world to just keep building these. There we go, and he's just getting more hits here. He needs pack guns. Oh, no, loses a mortar. And I worry now that the problem is his diversity here is just, like, absolutely suffering. Oh, no, and the Cromwell, sorry, the Comet's front armor is actually pretty good against these things. Yeah. So that Stug's going to have to GTFO. The Comet here just impervious. Another gravitic. Whoa! What the... Some sort of magnetic storm here, some gravity anomaly, just going to summon all of the debris there. Whoa, the Stug needs to GTFO. He's going to come forward with it. That is a mistake. What is going on with all this? What is going on with these raining men? Hallelujah. Okay, so both of the Stugs get taken out, and with that, Smiley's army and his chances in this game have been defeated. You'll notice he's lost enough of his infantry lineup that there's nothing left. He's now under a triple cap, 65 points, under 184. We are now just waiting for the GG from Smiley, so I will move into post-mortem mode. But what a game, I have to say. I think Smiley played very well against the number 10 British player at the moment on the ladder. And, you know, this game, he could have won, you know. He definitely could have won. Now here comes all of the Cromwells, and you know everything here is just bleh. So VonAsten knows that he has won at this point. Flamethrowers not traditionally very effective against British tanks, and he's just going to decimate all of Smiley's units here. Smiley's probably gone off to make a cup of tea by now, which you can't blame him for. If you look at the top left, look at the top right, as we always say, or as I always say, I know whose army I like better. 2 Ostripen and 1 man running away from a mortar crew does not beat that stuff in the top right. That is safe to say. So, yeah, a good game here from VonAsten, just playing a very savvy, very calm, very unflustered British style here. Which actually, when you think about the kind of things that he was asked to overcome here, you know, Smiles really, really, really did put on quite the show. Oh my god, these Ostripen they reinforce so quickly. And they're so cheap. Look at how fast they reinforce. Can you really kill this squad? This is just Smiley just microing to save the squad, which I've got to say is quite entertaining to watch. They're going to grab the mortar, turning into a mortar squad here. Probably going to be their demise actually, because now they have additional received accuracy. So there we go. Smiles here does get pushed out the game on tickets. Fair enough. But it was a fantastic game, I think, from both players. I really like Smiles' plan. I think the pick of the Ostripen Doctrine, I still like Ostripen Doctrine against UKF. So I actually think that was money. I still think it provided value. Even if we didn't see that many of its abilities get used. You know, those Ostripen were solid throughout the game, and the railway artillery was a potent answer to an otherwise difficult mortar pit. So I do like the commander pick here from Smiles. What I don't like is the first Ostwind I liked. The second Ostwind I think I liked. The Panzer IV I thought was a bit suspect, and the Ostwind that followed the Panzer IV I thought was very, very, very suspect. Now, if you'd have taken the money that he put into the Panzer IV and that Ostwind, thrown it into Tier 3, he probably would have had, well, he could definitely have had a Panther, maybe even a Storm Panzer IV to back that up, or a Panzerwerfer. And this is a good map for a Panzerwerfer because it's small, so the range of the Panzerwerfer covers a lot of the map. It's very narrow. Look how narrow this map is from side to side, you know. So it's quite hard to flank and get around the sides and threaten that Panzerwerfer. And it's very easy for the Panzerwerfer just to sit in the base, come forward to, like, I don't know, here, take a very close range barrage at some pack guns or whatever in mid or whatever you want to hit, and then just back up into the base again. You know, or even just hide, like, over here, or sorry, over here. Whatever. What I'm saying is a Panzerwerfer, like a Stuka-Zafus or a Katusha or whatever, on this map can be very elusive, much harder than usual to connect with, and can get some very sweet barrages. And there's not a lot to stop those barrages in the middle here. So yeah. Anyway, I just think going for Tier 3 would have been sweet here for for Smiles here, because he was in the end bludgeoned to death by a Comet tank that he basically couldn't answer, and a couple of Cromwell, and at the end of the game another Cromwell, but it was really just one Cromwell. And he was just never really able to answer those units. And it is difficult to answer those units with just Tier 2 Ost tier stuff. I mean, I know pack guns will do the job. I know Panzer IVs can do the job. But I still think it's much better to try and do it with Tier 3 units. There comes a time in the game where you have to say to yourself, I am not going to finish this with Tier 2 units. And, it is cheaper than it ever has been to go for this Tier 3. 45 fuel plus, what is it? I think it's like 50 to throw down the building or something, or like maybe another 45. I can't remember. But, or is it 55? I can't remember. But it's more doable than ever before. And although it sucks putting that much fuel into going up attack level with the Ostia, you have to sometimes do it. You just do, I think, according to me. Anyway, and from VonAsten's point of view, well, he made good use of this commander, I think. Constant airborne reconnaissance. Was that? Oh yeah. So the command brand was taken out in the end. But the airborne recon there definitely providing a lot of value for money. What is it called? Artillery cover was also quite sweet. Did a reasonable amount of damage, and even when it wasn't doing damage, it caused a lot of positional advantage by forcing the Ostier army not to be where Smiley wanted it to be, and also not to be where VonAsten didn't want it to be. So that was a really cool thing to use. He didn't actually use the forward obs post as far as I know. He didn't really use the air supply re-op, and he didn't really use the field recover operation. So pretty much taking this commander for those two abilities. But I mean, you know, they are quite spiky, and he did get value out of them in this game. So I like the pick from VonAsten. Besides that, I think his build was solid. I think his control was solid, except for losing a couple of Tommy squads by retreating through this S-minefield, which is just very unlucky, really. I think he actually did really well. You know what, actually, and there was one blunder from Smiley, who I have to say his infantry preservation and general unit awareness was like nearly flawless, but there was that one moment, do you remember, when he put that the Ostwind, here, and it got hit by the artillery barrage? That was just a shame. That was, like I say, that was just really unlucky, and also a little careless there from Smiles, and I'm sure if he played this game again, he wouldn't want to do that. But otherwise, a fantastic game between two great players and a pleasure to cast. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and this for now will be Magpie842 signing out.